Today we are going to learn three different methods of calculating coefficient correlation: the direct method, the assumed mean method, and the actual mean method. Now all three values are trying to calculate coefficient of correlation, which is a measure of how two or more variables are related. Are they related very strongly? Are they related poorly? Are they related in opposing direction? That means if one is increasing, the other is decreasing, and one is decreasing, the other is increasing. So for example, you have when heat is increasing, the sales of ice cream also increases, but the sale of hot things like soups decreases. Similarly, during exam season, sales of pens increases, whereas sales of video games decreases. So similarly, stock exchange and economic performance. So coefficient of correlation is basically a means of judging how two different variables can be related to each other. We will copy the x and y values from the table above, and then we will use it to calculate x square and y square values. So 3 squares are 9, 4 squares are 16, 6 squares are 36, 7 squares are 49, and 10 squares are 100. Now similarly we will calculate y square values from y. So 9 squares are 81, 11 squares are 121, 14 squares are 196, 15 squares are 225, and 16 squares are 256. Next step, we have to multiply x and y values. So 9 into 3 27, 11 into 4 44, 6 into 14 84, 15 into 7 105, 16 into 10 160. Then we will calculate the sum of these particular values which we have calculated. So sigma x is equal to 30, sigma y is 665, and sigma x square is 210, sigma y square is 879, sigma x y is 420. These values will replace into the coefficient of correlation formula for the direct method. So n into sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y divided by root of n into sigma x square minus sigma x whole square multiplied by sigma n sigma y square minus sigma y whole square. Now n is 5 because we have 5 values given above. Sigma xy is 420 and sigma x is 30, sigma y is 65. Similarly, in the denominator, n into sigma x square, sigma x square value is 210, sigma y square, so sigma x whole square will be 30 square, and similarly sigma y square is 879, sigma y whole square is 65 square. So simplifying this further, 5 into 420 gives me 2100, 30 into 65 gives me 1950, and 5 into 210 in the denominator gives me 1050. 30 square is 900, and 5 into 879 is 4395, and 65 square is 4225. So now simplifying this further, in the numerator I get 150, and in the denominator I get root of 150 and root of 170. Further, now I have done a mistake here. I have taken square root, so I have to remove that. Anyway, so this should be 150 divided by 12.25 into 13.04. Let me just remove the square root from here. Just give me a second. Okay, now this is the correct way. So it should be 150 divided by 12.25 into 13.04. So now simplifying this further, I get 150 divided by 159.79, which gives me, using a calculator, equal to 0.94. Alright. So there is one further calculation, which is probable error, which we have to calculate. But before that, 0.94 is highly correlated, highly positively correlated. If it is positive sign, we say positive. If it is negative sign, we say negatively correlated. And any value between 0.7 to 1, we call it as highly correlated. Any value between 0.3 and 0.7, we call medium correlation, and below 0.3 it is low correlation. Now we will use this to calculate a value called probable error, where probable error is the probability that there is a mistake in the calculation. So the formula is 0.6745 into 1 minus r square divided by root of n. So I have already replaced the r with 0.94 and n with 5. Now this 0.6745 comes from the normal distribution. That is not a topic for discussion today, so we'll directly go to the calculation. So this becomes 0.6745 into 1 minus 0.8836 divided by root of 5 gives me 2.236. So I'll simplify this further. 0.6745 into 0.1164 divided by 2.236. So when I divide, I get 0.674 into 0.0521, which gives me the final value of 0.035. So whenever we have a probable error, the way we use it is we have to compare it to the coefficient of correlation value. In this problem, the probable error of 0.035 is less than the coefficient of correlation of 0.94. So as long as it is less than, we accept the coefficient of correlation as significant. If the probable error is greater than r, we will reject the coefficient of correlation as significant. So that is just a statistical tool to judge whether this correlation should be used for further analysis or not. Now interpreting the coefficient of correlation, 0.94 implies that x and y are highly positively correlated. Now let's move to the assumed mean method. In the assumed mean method, we don't need to calculate the means. We can just assume a1 and a2, which are assumed means for x and y. So for x, we assume the mean of a1 equal to 56. For y, we assume the mean equal to 54. Now using these particular assumed means, we will first calculate dx, which is x minus assumed mean of x, which is 56. After that, we will calculate dy, which is y minus assumed mean of y. So the first one gives me 46 minus 56 equal to minus 10, then 54 minus 56 minus 2, 56 minus 56 0, 58 minus 56 2, 60 minus 56 4, and 62 minus 56 6. For y, when I calculate the deviation values, I get 36 minus 54 is equal to minus 18, 40 minus 54 is equal to minus 14, 54 minus 54 is equal to minus 10, 54 minus 54 equal to 0, 42 minus 54 is minus 12, 56 minus 54 is 4, oh no, it should be 2, there is error. Anyways, we'll look at the problem, the method you understand, this error has to be corrected. So instead of 4, I should be having 2 there. Anyways, so now I cannot correct, let's leave it as it is. Just learn the method and do the correction later on in your own calculations. 54 minus 54 is 0. Now next step, we have to calculate dx square and dy square. So square of minus 10 is 100, square of minus 2 is 4, square of 0 is 0, square of 0 is again 0, square of 2 is 4, square of 4 is 16, and square of 6 is 36. For dy square, similarly, square of 18 is 324, square of 14 is 196, square of 10 is 100, square of 12 is 144, and square of 4 is 16. Now we will use the values calculate here for calculating the summations. So sigma dx equal to 0, sigma dy equal to minus 50, sigma dx square is 160, and sigma dy square is 780. Now we will use these values in the formula below to calculate coefficient of correlation using the assumed mean method. Now if you see this formula, it is very similar to our previous formula. Before that, we have to calculate sigma dx into dx into dy. So dx was 10 into minus 18 gives me 180, minus 2 into 14 gives me 28, 0 into minus 10 is 0, 0 into 0 is 0, 2 into minus 12 is 24, 4 into 4 is 16. So that is how we get the dx dy values, and the summation of these values should be giving me 200. No, I think there is an error here. I will have to correct this and come back to you, but let's just take it as it is. Let's just take the numbers as it is because we have already used them for calculation. I'll correct this later and give you the actual problem answer. Alright, now because there are two errors, I have to correct the whole thing. Okay, now just let's compare the direct method formula with the assumed mean method. So just instead of x and y, if we replace dx and dy, we will get the same formula here. Instead of x and y, we have dx and dy. Alright, now let's go on to the calculations. 7 into 200 minus 0 into minus 50 divided by square root of 7 into 160 multiplied by square root of 7 into 78 minus 2500. So 7 into 200 is 1400 minus 0, 33.47, 160 into 7 is square root is 33.47, square root of 7 into 78 minus 2500 is 54.41. So this gives me 1400 divided by 1820.77. So that is equal to 0.769. So coefficient of correlation 0.769 tells me it is highly positively correlated. So we have to always interpret that. So remember between okay. Now let's go on to the actual mean method. In the actual mean method, we will calculate the actual means and then we will use the deviations to calculate the coefficient of correlation. So we calculated the totals of x and y. So sigma x was 392, sigma y was 328. Using that we got x bar or mean of x value as 56 and y bar value as 46.86. Now we will calculate dx based on the actual mean of x and dy based on actual mean of y. So x minus x bar gives me minus 10 minus 2 0 0 2 4 6. Similarly dy gives me subtracting 54.6 from all of them gives me minus 10.86 minus 6.86 minus 2.86 7.14 minus 4.86 11.14 and 7.14. Now based on that I'll calculate dx square and dy square values. So dx square was 100 4 4 4 16 36. dy square similarly gives me 117.94 47.06 8.18 7.14 square is 50.98 23.62 124.10 and 50.98. Then we multiply dx and dy values. So minus 10 into minus 10.86 is 108.86, minus 2 into minus 6.86 is 13.7, 2 into minus 4.86 gives me minus 9.72, 4 into 11.14 gives me 44.56, 6 into 7.14 gives me 42.84. Now based on that I will calculate the summation value. So sigma dx dy is equal to 200, sigma dy square is 422.86 and sigma dy square is equal to 160. Now based on these values I will be calculating the coefficient of correlation. The coefficient of correlation formula is quite simple here, sigma dx dy divided by root of sigma dx square into sigma dy square. Let me just include the sigma here so that later on when I post it you guys don't get confused. Just give me 1 second. Sigma. Alright, so now let's go back to the problem. So we have 200 divided by root of 160 multiplied by root of 422.86. So dx dy value is 200 and dx square is 160 and dy square is 422.86. Now this becomes 200 divided by 12.65 into 20.56, that is equal to 200 divided by 260.1. So this gives me the coefficient correlation value as 0.7689. That means x and y are highly positively correlated. Positive from the sign, and because it is greater than 0.7 we call it highly positively correlated. Now let's calculate the probability of error. So probability error of formula is same here, 0.6745 into 1 minus r square divided by root n. So r we take from above, 0.7689 square, and n is 7, so root of 7. So here now it becomes 1 minus 0.5912 divided by 2.646. Simplifying this further I get 0.4088 divided by 2.646. So when I use a calculator I get the value 0.01545 for the division, and I multiply this with 0.6745 to get 0.1042. Now we have to use this for analysis. Before that we have to judge whether it is significant or not. So because our probability value is r is equal to 0.76 and probable error value is 0.1042, that means my probable error value is less than my coefficient of correlation. So as per the rule, because it is less, we can accept that my coefficient of correlation is significant, and we can write r is significant. And of course we have to add to this that r is highly positively correlated.